Hey, everybody. Welcome to our Monday night call. We have a guest speaker on here tonight. Super special. My friend Wendy Larson. She is a Diamond Ambassador. And she was Diamond a long time ago. And she doesn't even probably realize how much of an impact that she has made in my life and in my business. And I'm just super honored that she is taking time out of her busy Diamond schedule to come and speak to our team. This is not the first team call that she's done for us, guys. It's the second one. And so I'm just super, super grateful. Wendy has an amazing product story. If you haven't heard it, you need to. But she also has so much wisdom as a leader and as a business owner, as a mother. She is just somebody you want to aspire to be like. And so I'm grateful that she's here, and we're going to talk about retention tonight. And when I asked her about this topic, she just spit out a few things that were very mind-blowing, and she's going to elaborate on that for you guys tonight. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat. If we have time at the end, maybe she can take a few questions. But I'm going to hand it over to you, Wendy. Thank you so much for doing this call for us. Take it away.
You're welcome. Hey, everyone. I'm so honored to be here, and all of your welcomes in the chat are really sweet, and they make me feel very special. So thank you, guys. Hey, are you guys excited to learn about retention tonight? When Brittany asked me, sweet Brittany, I love Brittany. Brittany and I are in a focus training group together, and every time she unmutes and starts speaking in that Zoom, I'm like, what'd you say? Write it down. You guys are so blessed to have her and Christina as your leaders. And I know there's a ton of amazing leaders in here that add a lot of value to this team. But we're going to talk about retention in a way that maybe you haven't heard before. And it is the base of how I have always done my business. And so we're going to talk about the 3 P's in Plexus. And if you talk about these 3 things or share about these 3 things with your new person that you sign up, they should hang on with you for the long haul, which is what we want, right? We're in this for the long haul. We want them to be in here for the long haul. So I'm going to screen share, and I'm going to PowerPoint our way through this evening, okay? And hope it works. Sometimes I struggle on the technical side of things and it doesn't always work. So let's see here. Slideshow. How's that? Can you guys all see that? Yay. Okay. So the 3 P's of Plexus success are going to be people, products, and paycheck. So if you talk about these 3 things when you're onboarding or getting a new person, and I'm going to say this over and over in our training tonight, but communication is critical in having success in this business, and you have to be a really good communicator. And if you're not a good communicator, guess what? You can learn to be a good communicator, because there is nothing that we can't learn, right? We can learn how to be a good communicator. So we're going to start with your potential to succeed is infinite. That means that no matter what, you can be successful. I think we learned, a lot of us Jules had a training not that long ago. It was a special Jewel training, and we got to listen to Caroline Leaf. And one of the things that she said is that our brain is always searching for solutions. In fact, our brain always knows what the answer is. It's our own mindset that stops the thought process from finding out what the answer is. But it's there. So give your brain a chance. Okay, so if you have been in any Plexus training, you have probably heard this saying by John Maxwell, and it is culture eats strategy for lunch. This is in his 5 Levels of Leadership book. I'm sure a lot of you have done the 5 Levels of Leadership training. If you haven't, check it out. It's in the Goldies group. It's amazing. It's so good. It transformed my business. Culture is your people part of retention. And where people get hung up on this sometimes is they feel like, because maybe one person said, one time. I don't want to be put in any groups. Groups are too overwhelming. I don't want to be put in any chats. It dings, dings, dings all day long. And no, I'm just saying, no. Okay, so as Brittany said before, she said that if you hadn't heard my product testimony, you kind of need to hear my product testimony. But did you know that probably 90% of my product testimony actually was a result of being introduced to culture? It's a true story. So I was on the products for about 7 weeks as a customer of Kristen Abart's. I was her customer, okay? And I told her, they're not working. Like, nothing's working. I'm gaining weight. I don't feel good. I have brain fog. What was I going through, you guys? Detox, right? All these things. And she says to me, this is the smartest thing she could have ever said to a type 3 on the Enneagram. She said, well, maybe you're like the 7% it doesn't work for. And I'm like, wait a minute. I don't want to be in the 7% that it doesn't want to work. I want to be in the 93% that it does work for. Like, I want to be in the good and in the succeeding group, not in the failing group. And so we talked things out. We talked about the products were working just fine. They were doing what they were supposed to do. And maybe next month we should upgrade to ambassador so that we can get the products at a little bit cheaper rate. I could get added into some groups that could maybe help me along a little bit. And I'm like, all right, sounds like a good deal. Well, sure enough, I upgraded within like a couple of days to become an ambassador. And what does she do? What does she do? Smartest thing ever. She adds me to groups and gives me this amazing introduction about how awesome I am and how great these products are going to be working for me. Hello. All these people comment and say all these amazing things back to me. Then she throws me in a chat with a whole bunch of other level ones of hers. And they're all so excited to meet. And I'm like, this is so fun. Like, who knew that Plexus could be so fun and so uplifting? It's the culture, it's the people. And within a week, I had a major turnaround in my product usage or in my product results because of the people. I know it was because of the people, because I had the culture. All right. So where are we going to go with this? Okay. So not everybody is comfortable in a crowd when they are the center of attention. We know that. There are some people like that. We can respect that. But listen to this. Everyone is naturally wired to feel security in the midst of others who demonstrate positive feelings and actions. So I felt secure and safe amongst all of these people where I am in this brand new journey because they have already succeeded before me. They have already had results before me, and I'm not going to get left behind. We all come in on different ships, but we're all in the same boat now. Isn't that cool? Okay, so how to get your people into the culture? Make sure they're in chats. If chats are overwhelming for them, teach them how to mute it. Teach them how to turn notifications off. Teach them the things that make it less overwhelming, and then teach them how to go back in and follow along. Again, this is about communicating well with the new person that you brought on board. Introduce them in team pages. Make sure that their introduction is outstanding. I know, Brittany, and I know she has trained you to never introduce somebody as a wholesale ambassador, right? I bet she's like, we don't ever do an introduction. It says, so-and-so, please welcome my friend so-and-so. She just signed up for wholesale. What is that doing? Putting them a cap on their capabilities, on their intentions, on whatever. You've just limited them with about this much vision in what Plexus can do for them. Why did we do this? Well, probably because they articulated to us that they're not going to do the business. So what? Do you know, like, probably all of us diamonds have said to our sponsors, we're never going to do this business. But our sponsors probably never called us a wholesale ambassador either. They probably breathed life into us from the very beginning. So make sure your introductions are life breathing. Three-way chats are great for I don't like to use them so much for introductions, but maybe some people have success with it. I like to use it for troubleshooting more than anything, but I know some people train that way, and there's nothing wrong with it. Just like find your groove and make sure that they get connected. I like people to have a variety of people around them. Like I said, they're going to like take on that intention of what other people have had success with. So anyway, and check in all the time. All right. Last or next, we're going to talk about products. Help people have success in the goals that they have articulated to you. Okay, this is a big deal because I have seen this happen many times in the 7 years that I've done this, is that people will articulate what their goal is, and us as ambassadors decide that this might be the better welcome pack for them because we need to go here and do gut health work first. What does that do? They're coming in asking for XYZ. We instead give them ABC, and they're going to give you the E, exit on out of here because they're not getting the results that they articulated, right? They might come in for 10 pounds of weight loss. So what? We know that they need gut health. We know that they probably have inflammation. We know all of those things. Our job is to help them have the best results as soon as possible. So you can talk to them about certain welcome packs that help them get the ABC that they asked for so that they're getting the results that they articulated. So start with that first, because I have seen it so many times. And we just love the triplex, right? It is the best. It is the best, no lie. I'm going to teach you some very simple steps on troubleshooting with products. First and foremost, you are not a doctor, and these are not medicine. So don't ever feel like you have to be somebody's medical professional, okay? We also know that these products will help every single ailment out there. You don't have to say, well, this helps so-and-so. Like, what do I do for somebody that has this, or this? It's probably going to be the triplex because it always comes down to the 3 pillars of health: blood sugar, gut health, and inflammation. So first and foremost, you're not their doctor, so don't feel intimidated by that. Second of all, are you ready for this? A lot of people don't follow up because A, they do not feel secure or confident enough to walk them through situations, negative situations that they might be going through. And so they don't follow up, and the people have negative situations anyway, and they fall away. There's no retention in that. You must be a good communicator, okay? And do not attach their situation to your ability to help them, okay? You can do it, I promise. All right, number 1, we are going to ask people exactly how they are taking their products and when. Okay, write that down. Ask people always first, before they tell you anything or before you do anything or give any advice, ask people exactly how they're taking their products and when. Because 99% of the time, I find out they're not taking them how I asked them to. And I'm kind of like going, this is why I told you to do it this way, because I knew if you didn't, we would be here. So, oftentimes they want to take them exactly how they say on the bottle. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, Plexus put those directions on there because everything that comes with products like this has directions. I like to keep my directions super simple. I like to give morning directions and evening directions and really nothing during the day because I don't want people to forget and then they don't have really great results. So also search videos on YouTube on what to expect when starting Plexus. There's a lot of videos out there that can encourage people to know that what they're going through isn't abnormal. What they're going through, we've probably all been there. What they're going through is a part of the process, okay? So make sure that they are encouraged with maybe a video. And if you make the video, that's even better because you should be their #1 influencer, right? All right. Next, never stop one product without thorough discussion and research, as the products are designed to work as a system. They are, and that's what I love about Plexus products, is that every single new product that we get is created to work in a system with all of the other products. Aside from maybe the weight loss ones like MetaBurn and Accelerator, like we don't mix those up. But other than that, all the other ones are meant to build on top of each other. So I'm going to give you one more tip. You guys ready for this? This is not you being a doctor, but I feel it's really important for you to know that if they tell you or don't tell you if they're on a medication, at least ask, because here's what I have found. This is your tip. I found that if I research the medication that they're on and research the side effects of it, what I find is that a lot of what they're experiencing is very similar to the side effects of their medication. Why is that? Like, why are they all of a sudden getting side effects of their medication because they started Plexus? Well, your liver is your filter. And when your liver is constantly taking in a daily medication for years upon years or months upon months, it kind of gets a little bit jammed up. It's a dirty sink, okay? It gets clogged. And when you take products like Plexus, you're going to unclog the sink a little bit. So what does that mean? That means sometimes that medication that's been sitting in the liver for the last 30 days might end up getting more into the bloodstream along with the medication that they're taking on a daily basis. So they're going to start feeling some of the side effects of their medication. Does that mean Plexus is not working? Hallelujah, heavens, no. It means that it is. All I want to do is say, hey, it seems to me that your Plexus products are working amazing and we're cleaning out a little junk here. Do you think maybe you should talk to your doctor and see if we need to adjust your dosages so that what you're taking in and what is coming out of the liver are not mixing together at the same time and making you feel kind of cruddy? You guys, Plexus is not designed to give you negative side effects. It's food, it's vitamins, it's minerals, it's herbs. It's not bad. And so I'm just saying. Okay, so when I encourage people to start on the triplex, I start slow. Slim in the morning. It doesn't have to be first thing. We encourage first thing, but girl, I'm a coffee drinker and I like my coffee first thing. So I'm going to have my slim a little bit later in the afternoon because I'm not willing to give up my habit. And if I'm going to stick with something, I don't change my habits midway through until I'm ready to change my habits midway through. So I'm just saying, slim in the morning and 2 probio and 2 BioCleanse at bedtime. That's just what I suggest. And everything is adjustable. Okay, if we need to cut back or increase or add something else, everything is adjustable. I always say we can cut back for comfort, but we're never going to quit. And I want you guys to think of that too. Comfort is key, but quitting is not. That is my troubleshooting. Oh, I have one more thing. Make sure that they're drinking their water. Okay, that's big, but this is the biggest one. Oh, I already talked about medications needing to be reduced because of the liver. Remember, you're not their doctor, and supplements are not prescription medications. They work very differently and different purposes. But this is the big one. Ask yourself, does this person want a solution or a place to share grievances? And use your discernment. Healing is just as much mental as it is physical. And that is my story. I was used to sharing grievances. I was used to maybe having a little bit negative a mindset. But when I got into the groups and got into the chats and realized how positive everybody was and how encouraging everybody was, I didn't fit in anymore being negative. And so my mindset changed pretty quick, and so did my results. And I'm just saying, make sure you can discern that with people. Do they want to stay where they are because maybe their sickness is their identity? Or are they really willing to make a change because they no longer want it to be a label on themselves? All right, so that is with products. Now we're going to talk about Paycheck. All right. You can't get out of debt while keeping the same lifestyle that got you there. That is a quote by Dave Ramsey. And although Dave Ramsey is our money guru and we think that he's talking about money, I want you to hone in on the word lifestyle. There's a lot of debt that we come into with Plexus, and it's not just money. It is a lifestyle of how we have eaten, our habits, our debt with our mindset, our debt with our friendships, our debt with our marriage. Like, we come in with a lot of negatives in the checkbook, okay? And I want people to realize that Plexus is a paycheck in a lot of different areas of their life. And it doesn't necessarily mean money, but I'm going to talk to them about how to make a paycheck, because it is not saying I'm going to do business with you. It is basically sharing options. It is me just talking about all of the things that Plexus offers us with confidence. And if this part scares you, I have a way to make it not be scary, and so that you can build that confidence and people feel really on board with what you're trying to talk about. So, wait, before I go there, this is what we're going to do. You have a brand new person. You're getting them on their products right away. You've gotten them in with their people right away. And the next thing you're going to do is that you are going to help them get into their back office. That's it. You're going to teach them the login, the password, and you're going to go over their dashboard with them. This is how I have talked to people about a paycheck and have gotten people to realize what they have with Plexus without ever asking them to do a business. And it's so simple. First thing you're going to do is you're going to get them into that back office, and you're going to show them the shop button. You're going to show them where to add new products to their subscription or to try, because I guarantee you, if you don't show them this, they're just going to get their subscription the same time every single month after month after month, and they're not going to know all the amazing things that we have. So show them the shop button and explain some of the products that they might love. Again, I'm asking you to be a really good communicator. Second of all, I'm going to have you show them where the new ambassador button is. There's a little button up there at the top of your dashboard that says new ambassadors, click here. Show them to go there, because there's great training videos there. There's a lot of information about our company, the back office, maybe a little bit of troubleshooting. Might be different from you, but that's okay. People can take in information if they want to. I like to go there. And then I'm going to show them the next button, the commission summary. Commission summary. But I told you I didn't want to do a business. Excuse me, I want you to know that when you start having results, people are going to notice. And I'm going to show you how to tell other people. And this is where you're going to check where your paycheck is. Show them where their paycheck is going to be in their back office. That triggers with people, because they don't want to see zeros. They want to see numbers, I promise. And last but not least, and if this is not an area of strength for you, you're going to practice it, because we're here to learn. This is your dashboard, and you are going to explain to them PV. What does personal volume mean? How do they get PV? Why do they want to have 500 PV or more? Is it more beneficial to have just my subscription run, or is 500 PV better? That is a great place to start. That's one area. Next, you're going to explain points and rank and how they are part of a profit sharing program. When they spent $34.95, or as it is this last week of the month, $1, they get to participate in Plexus's profit sharing program simply by sharing with other people. You don't have to wait until you're 20 years into a company like a lot of corporate America is. You can get it from day one. So explain that, and then tell them how much money they can make at $3 a point or $2.75 a point or whatever. Use your own back office if you need to. Show them your best month in your back office. And then last but not least, show them the new ambassadors. Show them that there's actually a potential to build a team, and that for every new ambassador that comes in on levels 1s and 2s, how they're making an income on those welcome packs or 3s and 4s if they're buying $200 welcome packs. This is an opportunity to cast vision. And where people have vision, they have options. And when people have options, they have choices. And when they have choices, they're more willing to say yes to what you're offering. So those are the 3 P's of Plexus. If you practice those 3 things with every new person, I know you're looking for a perfect system. I know you want like all of these details, but it's you being a real human talking about real things every single time. And it's that connection and the trust that you build that moves people with you in a forward motion. And I just want to encourage that extra communication and those 3 P's, and you will have a strong business. I promise. That's it.
That was so good, Wendy. So good. Do you have time for a couple of questions, or do you have to go? Okay.
No, we're good.
Okay. So when you are casting vision in the virtual office, are you on the phone?
Yes, or on a Zoom where I can screen share.
Oh, I love that. A Zoom. So you do this with every new join?
Yes.
I love that. Okay,
Yep.
awesome. What about creating a culture where people are so positive about the products that they have the same experience that you had when you came in? You were struggling with detox, feeling like the products weren't working. How do you cultivate that culture where people are in love with the products?
Well, I'm already putting them in a group where people already are in love with the products. They're in with the people that have already had success. It actually made me a lot quieter about my non-results when I was around so many people that were having results. Because I'm like, I'm not fitting in here. They're all having results. And then I just watched and waited and things changed. Like, you guys, you've all heard about the story of the pool of Bethesda, right? Where the lame guy is laying at the pool and he lays there for 30 years complaining and complaining because nobody will put him in the water to be healed. And then Jesus comes along and he says, get up, pick up your mat and walk. Like, the power was in him all along to make a change, but yet he blamed everybody in every circumstance for 30 years. And I'm just saying, you put people in the right spot, it's good.
Yes, that's so good. All right, can you elaborate on the difference between medications and supplements?
Well, they're very different. One is given to you by a doctor. You have to have a prescription for it. Like, a doctor actually has to write a prescription for you. Supplements, they're just food. I don't know, they're just vitamins. They're just things to supplement a diet that's lacking or a cellular structure that's lacking.
Mm-hmm. So medications oftentimes are treating symptoms, I feel like. And I feel like the difference is our
Yes.
supplements are really addressing root issues, not just putting band-aids.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is a really good
Well,
stuff.
yeah, and we've become a society where we want. Okay. Well, symptoms are just so people don't have to feel pain anymore. And I'm just saying, we gotta sometimes. We gotta sometimes feel pain.
Yes. All right. Does anybody else have any questions for Wendy? If you do, you can unmute yourself. Michelle, you're unmuted. You have a question?
Yes, Wendy, thank you so much. This is so rich. But just personally, because you are one of my favorites and I respect you so much, I'm curious what you're reading these days and what you're learning as a leader.
Ooh, that's a great question.
Well, it's mostly on branding myself and how to create attraction marketing. Our business has changed dramatically in the last 5 years, where the old school way of doing things is probably not as beneficial as creating a brand for ourselves and attracting people to us by finding our niche. So that's kind of where I am right now, is trying to determine who Wendy is and what attracts people to me as me.
That's so interesting because we've been learning the same thing. We've actually been taking our whole
Not surprised.
that branding. Me and Christina, we took Kristen's class about branding, and then we just kind of redelivered it, Plexus specific, and took our favorite parts out of it and chewed the meat, spit out the bones, and it's been really beneficial for everybody. So we've been learning the same exact things. Anybody else have any questions for Wendy?
I have a question, Brittany.
Okay.
Hey, Wendy. I would love to know how you handle objections from people under you when they tell them that their doctor has told them not to take Plexus. So how do you handle that?
I don't care if that's their decision. I mean, I'm not going to argue with if they want to listen to their doctor, they can go ahead and listen to their doctor. And, maybe they feel like their doctor can help them, or they can listen to what I want to suggest and decide if maybe I can be the one helping them. But they get to decide. I'm not going to convince them. I don't want to convince them. I want somebody who's going to say yes to me, who's going to say yes to Plexus, who's going to say yes to the results that Plexus can offer. But I will not convince people to do it.
Do you try to talk with them about what Plexus can do? Or,
yes.
Or do you just say, okay?
It depends on the objection. It just kind of depends on our conversation, Nancy. And it depends on if they're really looking for a solution or if they're just giving me a rebuttal. Good question. That was a good one, because I know a lot of people come up with that. They come up against that.
And I would just add that I would just say, that's really interesting to me, because we have so many doctors in Plexus who do approve the products, and they're actually sharing with their patients because they love the product. So how open are you to getting a second opinion? That is usually what I ask. Anybody else?
I have one more if nobody else does. Okay. Wendy, what is your 30-second elevator speech when someone says, what is Plexus?
I don't have one.
I love that you're a diamond.
I don't know. I wouldn't probably ever give anybody a 30-second elevator speech. I probably would just, really just kind of find out what their pain points are and be their friend. And then eventually Plexus is going to be the solution to that pain point, and that will come up. But I don't know that there's any such thing as a 30-second elevator speech that works unless somebody's really like pouring out pain points on me. Because I'm like, tell me all your problems and I got one thing that can solve them. Sorry, Michelle, I can't help you there.
No, it's actually really helpful, because I think a lot of people get in this when someone says, what is Plexus? What do I say? And I love that you're just asking questions and then showing that we are a solution. So to hear that from you, a diamond that we all love and respect so much, is amazing. Thank you so much for that. That's perfection.
Yes.
All You're welcome.
The last question, Wendy, and we'll let you go. Barb wants to know if you're a Minnesota girl.
Through and through. Got my flannel on and everything because it's cold.
All righty. Well, there you have it.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Wendy. This was definitely life-giving, and everybody's excited. I see the chat blowing up. Very, very helpful tips. We appreciate you so, so much, and we will call it a night.